Hey guys, this is just a quick video to tell you guys that unless I let you know from here on or I say otherwise, just a second. How's it going?
Pretty good.
Sorry. So, unless I say otherwise from here on out, everything that I make will be human made. So what I mean by that is that I will not be using generative AI. Even if that ends up making my my thumbnails look worse or not as flashy, I'm personally just not going to use generative AI. Now I'm not saying this, you might be wondering why I'm saying this. I'm not saying this to flex on people that use generative AI or to say I'm better than them. I'm only making this clear because I think that my audience probably, if they're following me, would be the type of people that care about human-made content. And if they're anything like me, they're the type of people that just don't like not knowing what is made by a real human or not, because they put a lot of value into that. They put a lot of value into things being made by a human. So just to be clear, if I make a song, I'm not going to use generative AI. If I write anything, I will have used zero generative AI in my writing. Maybe spell check would give a suggestion, so I use that from time to time if I think that the suggestion fits well. But I will not be generating any amount of anything that I produce. If I have a voiceover in a video, I will not be ever generating my voice. I mean, sure, this may change in the far future. I don't want to lock myself out of anything. I don't know. Always leave doors open, right? But, at least for what seems like the mid-future, or years probably, maybe my whole life, I'm just not going to be posting generative videos. I'm not going to use generative photos. If you find one in my video, as far as I'm concerned, if it ends up in my video, it was by mistake, but I'm all right at telling what's generative AI and what's not. And if I release a book, which I'm planning on releasing science fiction short stories and other type of short stories, it doesn't all have to be science fiction, but short stories and concepts. If I release an audiobook, rest assured that I will have used zero generative AI. I'm just using my brain, my experiences, my life, and I just believe that that's a very pure form of creating. I understand some people don't agree with it and they think it's foolish not to use it, but that's just my stance at the moment. If I draw anything or release artwork, it will have been made by a person. If I hire an editor, I will likely not really want them to be using AI unless it's a relatively tame tool that's not generative, or maybe it is generative, but I don't know, such as voice isolation, or one other really good one is background removers. Those are really effective, and I don't think that they take away from artists, unless somebody, or like rotoscoping. If I ever hire a writer, which I wouldn't, so never mind, I'm not gonna say that. Well, if I ever hire a researcher, which again, I personally enjoy researching myself, so I don't know if I'd ever do that. But I would only hire a researcher that's not using AI, because I just find that as of at least right now, it's a subpar product. And even if it ever becomes a good product, I just don't believe that. I believe not having a human soul associated with your research is a flaw in and of itself, and that's just my opinion. But the reason that I believe this is because I believe that humans are different from animals, and I believe the difference in that would be a human soul. And I believe that a human soul and art can oftentimes transcend just being good at something, because I think good art, truly good art, has more to do with why people are making it and what experience was lived through by a genuine human soul that caused the inspiration of that piece. Even if the piece is really dumb, if the inspiration was good or something meaningful, I think that's what the meaning of art is. Yeah, so I'm not going to generate any thumbnails. I'm just trying to communicate that from here on out, even though I didn't before, but from here on out, you don't need to worry about my channel wondering if it's AI or not. No part of my process, besides tools that don't generate anything and don't create anything and effectively just help you to create, such as rotoscoping tools, maybe, or background remover tools, maybe. Besides those, there will be no computer creating any thought on my channel, because that's simply how I want it to be. I don't want a computer to be contributing any thought to my channel. I think that computers and their thinking are completely vapid and completely meaningless and utterly stupid. And I think it's stupid that people don't realize that that computers and machine learning algorithms contribute genuinely nothing, because they're only going off of data that humans already made, and that they're not creating anything new. Because I personally believe that creating, so some people believe that you can't create something that you don't already know exists, and the only way that humans create something is by taking two things they already know and putting it together. That would be how AI does it. Now, I can agree, I think a lot of creating is like that with humans, but I will say that I think that there is another type of creating that is inspiration. And I think inspiration creating that causes some of the best works known to man are so inexplicably good that they could only come from some type of higher power. So I think that inspiration creation is something that occasionally happens to people, and I don't know if that's something that I'm capable of, but I think that people like Leonardo da Vinci, Mozart, who's the guy that painted the ceiling? I can't believe I'm blanking on that right now. Michelangelo? I feel so dumb right now. You know, all the enlightened, what is it called? Renaissance men. All of the enlightened Renaissance men, I believe, have a good night.
Oh, I'm coming down.
Oh, okay.
I'm just taking my Earth Day trees outside.
All right.
They'll like it better.
Oh, man. Okay. all the enlightened Renaissance men, you know, I believe that they had some type of divine inspiration. Now, you might not believe in God, but you could believe in some type of higher power. If you don't know what that is, then I'm not gonna be trying to tell you what I'm not going to be telling you what to. I don't think that alarm could have had any better comedic timing. Okay. I feel like I'm getting interrupted again. So, I'm not going to tell you what higher power to believe in, but maybe you believe in something. So, I just believe there's a different level of consciousness, and I believe that art and creation is connected to that, because whatever higher power you might believe in kind of has a common theme, and that is that whatever higher power somebody believes in is strongly associated with the process of creation. So that would mean that the process of creation is a skill that only the higher power could truly have. And that's why I think that the AI is a synthetic form of creation, because it has no ability to connect to this higher power, because it has, if you don't believe in God, it has no biology. So maybe you believe in some type of higher level of consciousness. Well, AI has no biology to connect to that higher level of consciousness. And if you do believe in God, then AI has no spirit to connect to God, where God is the first creator. Or if you don't believe in God, the higher consciousness is the first creator. And that is how you get true creativity, from higher power, higher consciousness, God, right? So I've said before, I believe in God, but you know, I understand not everybody's like me. So yeah, I don't think I have anything more to say, but just rest assured that I'm gonna be releasing some stuff, and you don't ever have to wonder if what I make is generated. I want no part of anything I make to be generated. I want everything I make to be painstakingly put together by me. And that's not because I think I'm better than people that want to do it more efficiently. That's just because that's the way that I view art. And it's okay if you don't view it the same way. So, I hope you have a good day. Thank you for watching.